Hey everyone, welcome to Crossroad Conversations with the Lewis brothers, where we aim to share real stories about running a successful family business while working through adversity and pouring back into our community that keeps our doors open every single day. We're your hosts, Shelby, Matt, and Taylor, and we'll be bringing you real, relevant local business advice, maybe some automotive insights that are sure to change the way you look at running a business or buying a car, and maybe even throw in a plug for you to do business with us here locally.
Hey, Mythbuster time. Strong leaders always know the right answer. We talk about this time and time again.
That's false. Just because you're a strong leader doesn't mean you know the answer.
I think we just talked about that, even on buying vehicles.
Yeah. Yes. It means that you're committed to the process of getting to the right answer.
That's correct.
Yeah. Right?
Even if it comes from somebody else.
Yeah. You're committing to the process, or you're committing to the game plan to say, I want to be the best, but I'm going to have to re-earn it today.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't mean you always know the right answer.
Yep.
So next, we're talking about communicating decisions so people buy in. And I love this because I feel like whether it's a new idea, a process, what goal, if you don't have buy-in from people, you have nothing.
Yep.
And it's guaranteed to fail.
Success rate is so low if
So
you don't
low.
get buy-in.
And how many people do we know around us that go and sign up for something and then put it on somebody's desk and says, hey, implement
It's the majority of people, which makes it fun that we can be the opposite because it makes winning so much easier.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that kind of rolls in. I would ask the question about, like, why do good decisions fail?
Because you don't carry it out. You hand it off.
And we talk about that. And your team gets wider and the idea gets bigger. Right? So even if I'm dead set on something, a system, a process, a person, a procedure, anything from 2 cents all the way to $20 million, I'm like, hey, look at this real quick. Give me thoughts or feelings. Taylor, look at this real quick. Give me thoughts and feelings. Now, if you don't get back with me and I've sent it back over, then I'm going to go ahead and make that decision. Sure. It's like, oh, no, remember, I sent that to you. Yep. But then we're going to talk about it and say, hey, do you have any questions? Do you have any thoughts and feelings? It's like this and this. Did you vet this? I'm like, yep, lowest price, best availability, shortest term, da-da-da-da. Like, okay, so then when there's a problem, it's our problem, right? And we work on it together to fix it. Otherwise, like, Shelby, what the heck, dude? You signed up for this thing. It's not working. It's like, I know. I got to figure this out, right?
You know, and then how do you communicate the why so clearly?
I think you ask questions and you have the people that you want to be involved ask the questions. And so whoever's giving the presentation or whoever's ever getting presented to you, you give them clarity of like, hey, I need your help getting the team's buy-in. And you say, team, hey, I need your help making sure this is the right. So you tee them both up for the same idea.
Yep.
And then they define the why.
I tell people that are trying to sell us stuff, and I know we're on a systems kick right now, but I say, I'm very easy to sell because I tell you exactly what I need to be sold on, what my issues are.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now, you got to do the rest of it.
Yeah.
You know, but you're not going to have to worry about, like, what do you need to address because I'm going to lay it out there for you.
Yeah. That why, there's two things on that I love including your team on. They're going to catch things that you won't necessarily catch. That's why you have them on there. But then the two things I love from them, they are going to get buy-in whenever they're in the process of going through, but then they're also going to have a sense of pride of, hey, Shelby wanted me to look at this. Hey, Matt wanted me to look at this, so I'm going to really dive into it. And when I do like it, it's going to work that much better.
Okay, a couple of the questions here. How do you include people without creating a democracy?
Well, you have to realize who you include. We've talked
key.
About the right rooms of people, right? There's certain people you cannot include. They're just kind of the enforcers or they're the doers.
And that's not by position code.
No. That's by their personality and how they handle opportunity, right? And then there's some people that you just don't, and there's some people that you do.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. Mm-hmm. Next up is transparency without over-explaining.
You know, transparency is so important. Sometimes I like telling stories because it's real and people listen, and it's how I teach. But more often than not, I go too long, and so I have to be careful there of not going too far. Mm-hmm. But I think it's okay to be a little bit over without completely over speaking. But if you overspoke a little bit, but you still had transparency, you've done better than not at all. But you need to not get long-winded so that you completely lose out on the pal that I have.
To me, the North Star there has to be when you're going over and explaining it, relevance to who you're talking to and not you.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that put it together and you could go way deep in.
Yeah.
You have to keep it to what they need to see, recognize, and what they could deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And read the crowd.
And I think sometimes it's okay to lead off whenever, no different than whenever you're leading to a training meeting and you tell them what you're going to go over. Whenever I have somebody sit down, hey, I'm going to tell you this because this is what you need to know.
Yep.
And we'll get into anything else in the future. We'll get into deeper in the future. So let them know we're going to go over this today, and this is what I want you to do.
All three of us have this training outline when we're talking about is we might have 6 things. We read the room and the feedback, and we may spend 75% of the time on item 2 and 3 and brush through the rest of it. Because we've read on what they're accepting, what they actually need from us. It's never that all 10 things get equal 10%.
Yeah.
You know, that is really, really good at all. And then consistency in messaging.
Yep.
You know, whatever we talk about, and that's no different than when the three of us talk about a product or a process that we're all on the same page. So the consistency coming out of our mouth is the same with all employees.
Yes.
And then we get the buy-in from our key leaders. So together, consistently, we're all beating to the same drum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's how you get a good process, and it's how you get your money's worth, and it's how something actually has the opportunity to succeed.
That's so good. Okay, what's one decision you need to make soon, and what's the next right step?
Really getting deep.
Ooh,
What's
that one
one
is
decision you need to make soon? What's next, right? You know, that's the decision that we get to make is what's next. You know, what's the next step in Lewis Automotive, and is it a new angle and opportunity? You know, we got to hire more technicians for our commercial truck shop.
Yeah.
Our collision center soon to be opening, and our reconditioning department. So that's another decision we need to make soon is those people, those processes. And the next step is just figuring out what's next on that. You know, so hiring of training and building, that's a thing.
Yeah, and I would echo exactly. I mean, we already have our vault full of that on those next steps. And then, on what the next decision. We've made the decisions. The next step is we've got to get the key people in each of those areas.
Yep.
And we got to bring them on board so they're bought into the culture and they're ready to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's been a great one today. Make sure to check us out at lewissuperstore.com and for this podcast and many others at crossroadconversationspodcast.com.
Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a like, share it with your friends and family, even visit our website, send us the questions about what you want to know, what you want to hear, tell us about the automotive industry, family business in general. Who do you want to hear from? Send them our way, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you have, but make sure you tune in next time where we bring in another guest and we talk more about the automotive industry and all the great things going on within our business.